EU bureaucrats from the EU Tax Observatory are calling for a wealth tax to be introduced on a global basis. They seek to ensure that the world's richest people pay a minimum amount of tax. Initially, the measure would be targeted at only the world's 3,000 richest people. The EU Tax Observatory says that many billionaires and super-rich families use shell companies to own assets and reduce their taxes. These people are internationally mobile, making national taxes difficult to collect. They propose that this group pay a 2% tax on their assets. It's thought that this would raise $250 billion per year. This comes after a minimum corporate tax has already been agreed by 140 countries. This attempts to set a minimum corporate tax rate of 15%. The EU group is calling for the measure to be discussed at the next G20 summit in Brazil in November 2024. The EU Observatory claims that some billionaires are using loopholes such as shell companies to get effective tax rates of as little as 0.6%. They claim that shell companies operate in a gray zone between avoidance and evasion. The lead economist of the EU Tax Observatory, Gabriel Zucman, suggested that minimum tax rates were the most effective measure to deal with loopholes in existing tax systems, as no matter what avoidance measures are used, the tax collected can't fall below a minimum amount. This is the logical next step after the global minimum tax on companies, which demonstrates that it's possible to agree on minimum tax rates, Zucman opined. Although measures like this are likely to be applauded by many people, they should be careful what they wish for. When income taxes were first introduced, they were only for the top 1% of earners, before they gradually spread to everyone. If this measure is allowed to get off the ground, the same fate is guaranteed. Just like the global minimum tax for corporations and the common reporting standard, any minimum tax introduced will be full of loopholes and likely easy to avoid. It's unlikely that the world's richest people will be concerned about these EU proposals. For anyone serious about protecting their wealth, Bulletproof Asset Protection is a must-read. This special report provides valuable secret strategies to make sure your money can never be touched or even found. You'll discover how to easily open secret bank accounts. You'll find out how to establish anonymous companies and trusts and the best jurisdictions around the world to keep your assets private and secure. Follow the link in the description to find out more.